When you first get your hands on the DJI Neo 2, it feels like a toy. It is small and very light. The design is friendly and it looks like it just wants to fly. You might feel the urge to take it out of the box and go straight to the park. Most people want to turn it on and start recording right away. However, this is where many new pilots make their first mistake. This drone is much deeper than it looks. It has hidden features that are not active when you first power it up. If you ignore the initial setup, your experience will be limited. Your video shots will not look clean. The smartest tools inside the drone will simply stay hidden. You need to prepare the drone before your first real flight. We are going to fix that today. These are the things you must do right now. Do not wait until next week. Do not wait until you have a problem in the field. You need to do these steps before your first session. The first step is the most important one. It is also the most boring part of owning a drone. You must update every single battery. When you turn on the Neo 2 for the first time, you will see a firmware update. Most people let this run once and think they are done. They see the progress bar hit 100% and they feel ready. But the Neo 2 uses intelligent flight batteries. Each of these batteries is a smart device. They are not just simple power cells. Inside every battery is a tiny processor. This processor controls many things. It manages how the battery charges. It controls the power output during flight. It handles cooling and safety logic. These processors need their own software to work with the drone. This software is called firmware. If the battery firmware does not match the drone firmware, you will have problems. You might lose certain features. Sometimes you might even lose full flight performance. This can be dangerous when the drone is high in the air. To fix this, you must be patient. After the main update finishes, do not turn the drone off. Remove the first battery from the drone. Take your second battery and put it in. Reconnect your phone to the drone or the controller. Wait for a few seconds. A small update prompt will appear at the top of your screen. This is the update for that specific battery. Accept the update and let it finish. You must repeat this for every battery you own. If you have 3 batteries, you must do this 3 times. If you skip this step, you will run into trouble later. You might be out in a beautiful field ready to film. You put in a fresh battery and the drone gives you a warning. It might force the drone into a restricted mode. It might even refuse to let you use certain flight functions. This causes a lot of confusion and frustration. Doing this at home gives you a clean baseline. It ensures every part of your kit is ready for action. Next, you need to shape your quick modes. This is one of the hidden strengths of the Neo 2. It is also something that most people never touch. When you look at the screen for the first time, you see a few modes. These are the default quick-shot modes. They are the basic tools that DJI thinks you want. But the drone can do much more than what you see on the surface. There are many more modes available. They are simply not activated yet. You have to tell the drone what you want to use. To do this, you must go into the Settings menu. Open the section called Customize Modes. You will see a screen divided into 2 lists. There is a line in the middle. The modes above the line are the ones that appear on the drone screen. The ones below the line are hidden in the memory. You can customize this layout. You can drag any mode you want from the bottom list to the top list. Think about the shots you want to create. You might want the dolly zoom for a cinematic look. You might want the circle follow or the helix mode. There is also a dynamic follow mode that is very powerful. If you do not move these to the top list, they will stay hidden. They will never show up on the drone screen. This is very important if you plan to fly without your phone. When you are out in the world, you want your favorite tools to be ready. This adjustment only takes 1 minute. However, it completely changes how the drone feels. It makes the drone feel like it belongs to you. It is no longer just a default setup from the factory. It is now a tool tailored to your specific creative needs. Having the right tools one tap away makes your filming much smoother. Now we need to talk about hand gestures. This is a feature that almost everyone tries on their first flight. People stand in front of the drone and wave their hands. They wait for the drone to react. They expect it to start following them or take a photo. Usually, nothing happens. The pilot gets confused and thinks the drone is broken. The reason is very simple. Gesture control is turned off by default when the drone is new. DJI does this for safety. They want you to know how to use it before you turn it on. To activate it, you must connect your phone. Open the DJI app and look for a small icon that looks like a palm. Tap on that icon. The app will show you a short tutorial. It will teach you the specific hand movements the drone recognizes. Once you finish this tutorial, the feature becomes active. This changes the way you use the drone entirely. You can now launch the drone and start recording without touching a button. You can signal the drone to take a photo just by moving your hands. You can even tell it to stop recording and land. This is incredibly helpful in many situations. Maybe you are hiking and your hands are busy. Maybe you are filming yourself and you do not want to hold a controller. It makes the drone feel less like a piece of electronics. It starts to feel like a partner. It understands what you want through your actions. It is a very cool experience when it works properly. But you must take that 1 minute to turn it on in the app first. Let us move on to obstacle avoidance. This is a very important part of the Neo 2 personality. You have 3 main choices for how the drone handles obstacles. The first choice is to turn it off. If you do this, you have full control. The drone will not stop for anything. This is what experienced pilots sometimes use. The second choice is the brake mode. This is the safest setting for beginners. When the drone sees a tree or a wall, it will slow down. It will come to a complete stop before it hits the object. It will just hover there and wait for you to move it. The third choice is the bypass mode. This is where the drone gets very smart. Instead of stopping, the drone tries to find a path around the obstacle. It keeps moving so your video remains smooth. Inside the bypass mode, you have 2 more styles to choose from. These are called normal and nifty. The normal style is cautious. It keeps a safe distance from objects. It gives the drone plenty of room to move. The nifty style is different. It allows the drone to fly much closer to obstacles. This makes your shots look much more dramatic. It looks like the drone is weaving through tight spaces like a pro. If you are flying in a forest or a narrow street, nifty feels very cinematic. However, you must choose the right setting for your skill level. If you are new, stick to the brake mode. If you are using FPV goggles, you might want to turn it off. Sudden stops from the obstacle sensors can be annoying in goggles. It can break your concentration. Picking the right setting makes the drone feel tuned to your style. It gives you confidence while you are in the air. The fifth thing you must do involves the camera settings. The Neo 2 is a very consistent machine. It remembers exactly what you did the last time you used it. This means the first time you set it up is the most important. The drone treats your first choices as its permanent defaults. It will not change them unless you manually do it. You need to decide your resolution and your frame rate. Most people want the highest quality. This is usually 4K at 60 frames per second. You also need to choose your color profile. The default look is often very sharp and bright. If you want a more cinematic look, you might want to change the color style. You also need to think about social media. Do you want to shoot horizontal video for a TV? Or do you want vertical video for your phone? The camera does not guess what you want for each flight. It simply repeats the last setting. If you take the time to set this up now, you will save time later. You won't have to keep checking your settings every time you take off. You can just focus on flying and getting the best shots. This creates a much better workflow. You want to be a creator, not someone who is constantly digging through menus in the field. Another major factor is charging speed. This is something that affects your entire day of filming. The Neo 2 comes with a battery hub if you get the bundle. This hub can charge 3 batteries at once. It can finish the job in about 1 hour. But there is a catch. It only works that fast if you use a high-quality charger. You need a USB-C charger with high wattage. A 65-watt charger is the best choice for this drone. Many people try to use their old phone chargers. These are often low wattage. If you use a weak charger, the batteries will take a very long time to fill up. Some people also try to charge the battery while it is still inside the drone. This is a mistake if you are in a hurry. When the battery is inside the drone, the charging speed drops significantly. It usually drops to around 15 watts. This feels painfully slow when you are waiting to fly. You should always pull the battery out. Use the charging hub and a powerful wall plug. This makes your workflow much more efficient. You will spend more time in the air and less time waiting by a power outlet. It is a small detail that makes a huge difference in your productivity. Next, we need to look at the image quality. Specifically, we need to talk about sharpness. When the Neo 2 comes out of the box, the sharpness is set to a standard level. To many people, this looks a bit too digital. The edges of leaves and grass can look very crunchy. It doesn't look like a real movie. It looks like a computer-generated image. There is a way to fix this and make your footage look much more professional. You should reduce the sharpness setting. Moving it from 0 down to -2 makes a world of difference. It makes the image look natural and smooth. It gives the video a cinematic feel that is much more pleasing to the eye. However, there is a problem you should know about. You cannot change this setting from the phone app. This is a limitation of the current software. To change the internal sharpness, you need a physical controller. You can also use the FPV goggles if you have them. You have to enter the advanced camera menu to find this setting. Once you change it, the drone will remember it. Every shot you take from then on will look much cleaner. It is one of the smallest changes you can make. Yet, it has the biggest impact on the final look of your videos. It separates the beginners from the people who know what they are doing. You also need to think about protection. This means looking at DJI Care Refresh. The Neo 2 is a relatively affordable drone. Because of this, the insurance plan is also very cheap. It is much less expensive than the plans for the bigger Mavic drones. Flying a drone always involves some risk. You might have a technical glitch. You might lose your signal behind a building. You might just misjudge a gap between 2 trees and crash. If you have the insurance, a replacement is very quick. It is also very affordable. Having this plan removes a lot of the fear. When you are not afraid to crash, you take better shots. You fly in more interesting locations. But you have to be careful with the timing. You must activate the insurance within 48 hours of activating the drone. If you wait longer than 2 days, the window closes. You cannot add it later without a lot of extra work. Most people forget this until it is too late. They crash on the 3rd day and realize they have no protection. Do not let this happen to you. Decide if you want it as soon as you open the box. If you do, sign up immediately. It gives you peace of mind every time you take off. Finally, for this section, let's talk about light. Bright sunlight is the enemy of good video. When it is very bright, the drone has to use a very high shutter speed. This makes the movement in your video look jittery. It can make the video feel uncomfortable to watch. To fix this, you need ND filters. These are like sunglasses for your drone's camera. An ND16 or an ND32 filter is perfect for a sunny day. They allow the drone to use a slower shutter speed. This creates a natural motion blur. Everything looks smoother and more professional. You don't need them for every flight. But once you see the difference, you will not want to fly without them on a clear day. By following these initial steps, you are building a strong foundation. You are making sure the hardware is ready. You are ensuring the software is tuned to your needs. You are protecting your investment. This is how you start your journey with the Neo 2 the right way. You are no longer just a person with a new toy. You are a pilot with a professional setup. In the next part, we will look at the drone's personality and how to master the air.